let us start our science class. Yeah. Today we are going to study a new chapter. Okay. Before that, you all know that there are different types of living organisms present around us. Yeah, if you are going to name them, we can get a page full. See, number of organisms are there. Have you ever thought of the multitude of life forms that surround us? Yes, each organism is different from all others to a lesser or greater extent. You all know that. See here what happens in our surrounding, we have a number of organisms. Sometimes we can see those organisms, some are somewhat similar to each other, sometimes they are completely different organisms we can see. Okay, for instance, consider yourself and your friend. Okay, any friend. See, just think of student, you and your friend. You both are having same age, but whether you have the same characteristic or whether you both are looking similar? No. If just imagine, what about the color of you and your friend? It may be different. Height, it may be different. Texture of hair, it may be different. Shape of the nose, lip color. See, all those things are different because we and our friend, we are completely different, we are saying. Because of that is we can identify very easily which is you and your friend. Okay, similarly, just think of, or else you just compare you with the monkey, or else your friend with the monkey. That is a human beings and monkeys. How it will be? Tell me the characteristic. You and monkey. It is completely different characters we are. Well, comparing you and your friend only, you got different characteristic, different only you both. But while comparing to the monkey, we are thinking that me and my friend is almost similar. We have the same character, almost similar characters. While comparing the monkey, we come to know that we and monkey completely different. Yes, monkeys are having 4 legs, but we have 2 legs. It is having the tail, but we no tail. See, these are the difference between we and monkey. So just to compare students, monkeys and cow. How? Whether you can get the similar points? Yes, some points you can get similar because both monkey and cow, they having 4 legs. They has tail. Upon that, yeah, we can get a number of similar example, but there will be a different characters. Okay, we are not saying all characters is same or all is different, but some extent somehow we can manage. But while comparing you and a monkey or else you and a cow, you will get different characters. Yes, right? Yes. Now think of all different forms in which life occurs on earth. See, we can see number of organisms, that is a different organisms in our earth. Yes? Yeah. If you are going to see our surrounding, just you are saying about your home, you will get different organisms. Just compare cat and you. Yes, you and your brother or sister. Yes, father and mother. See, we can get different characters so that we can identify any organism individually. We can identify very easily. We can identify. You can say, or as we can say, this is you and this is your sister and this is your parents. Yeah, we can identify. Yes, yeah, because of the different organisms, it is very difficult to write the characteristic of those organisms. We can't remember all the characteristic of you, monkey, cow, like that. So just think of student, in our earth there will be a diversity in living organisms. We can see a number of organisms so that we can see the diversity in our earth. That is diversity in living organisms. In today's class, we are going to study about the diversity in living organism. Write down the heading, diversity in living organism. Diversity in living organism. Yes, this is a heading of the new chapter, that is 9th science. Yes. Next, there will be a one question, student. Why do we classify organism? What is the purpose of classifying the organism? Why we are saying that we are the human beings, cat it is an other animal. Why we are saying like that? Why we are classifying? What is the useful of this classification? What is the purpose of this classification? Why do we classify the organism? Tell me. Yes, if you are going to classify the organism, you can remember that organism easily. You can remember the name of that organism easily. Upon that, you can write the characteristic. You can write by, if you know the which it is, which group of organism that one, by taking that group you can write the characteristic of that one. Upon that we can remember very easily. Okay, to study it is very easy when if you are going to classify the organism. That is the purpose of classifying the organism. Now one more question here. What is the basis of classification? What is the base? Why? In what base we are going to classify the organism? Can you tell me in what way we can classify? Yes, we can say by taking cell, whether it is a unicellular, whether it is a multicellular. So amoeba is different from ours or as human beings, and amoeba is completely different because amoeba is unicellular. We are the multicellular organism. Or else we can take the shape of the nucleus. Nucleus is definite or indefinite. So we come to know bacteria is different from plants. Yes, any other, or whether it is autotrophic or heterotropics, that is also one point. If the autotrophic organism, one classification, heterotrophic organism, one more classification. Whether it is a saprophyte, that is also we can take. See, by taking such a characteristic, we are going to classify the organisms. Come to know, this is the answer for that question. What is the basis of classification? Which do you think is more basic characteristic for classifying organism? First one is the place where they are living, or else the kind of cells they are having. Yeah, what you are saying, which is the easier method of classification, how many cells they have, or else what is the cell type? One more, where it is living. What is your answer? You have to write it in your point book. Come to know, you have to write it. That is your wish, you can choose any one. So you have to write why you are saying that one. Come to know. Yes, next we will move to the hierarchy of classification. Already we studied in 8th standard, that is the hierarchy of classification. See here, number of scientists they contributed to the classification of organisms. Come to know, many scientists are contributed towards this classification. Initially, the scientist name Carolus Linnaeus, already we have studied in our 8th standard. Classification organism, once again I am not going to write it in your own. See, Carolus Linnaeus, he is a scientist. What he is saying, you know, first he is classifying entire organism present in earth. He is going to divide that whole organism into two categories, that is plants and animals. First what happened? Plant and animal. See, he is calling these as kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Kingdom means that is a group. Samrajya in Kannada. See, this is a group of, if which is suitable to plant by taking the characteristic. He is saying all the autotrophic organisms are the plants. He is naming that as a plant kingdom. Come to know. Next one more, he is saying all the heterotrophs. heterotrophic organisms are the animal kingdom. That time all people are going to believe blindly, they are believing his idea. He is only, that is the idea of his. See, he is saying, Carolus Linnaeus, there will be two categories of organism, that is kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Later, after some time, what happened, you know, one more scientist, his name is Ernest Haeckel, he added one more kingdom to that one. One more kingdom he is adding to that one, and he is calling that kingdom as a kingdom Protista. Already we have studied in our 8th standard. Kingdom Protista. Yes. Next, later we are going to study what are the different characteristics of that one. Okay. Next, what happened after some time? That time all are believed there is a 3 kingdom classification. After some time, the scientist name Copeland, what he is doing? He is studying further and he is saying some organisms are completely different from these 3 groups because they have indefinite nucleus. They don't have the proper nucleus. So he is adding the 4th kingdom to that one and he is calling that kingdom as a kingdom Monera. So all the bacteria, which organism does not have the nucleus, all things he is going to add to that one. So he is calling that kingdom as kingdom Monera. Yes, here one more, one second one, Protista, and third one is Monera. We'll see what will happen later. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 kingdom classification now. Later what happened? After some time, Robert Whittaker, he is one more scientist, he come forward and he is saying that there is one more kingdom in this. So he is going to pick some organism in this 4th kingdom and he is saying that some organisms are completely different from this one and he is calling it as a kingdom Mycota. Totally here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 kingdom classification we got. This is what about the Mycota means, that is the fungus. Okay, we are going to study one by one in detail. Later what happened? Still now we are believing these 5 kingdom classification. Till now only the 5 kingdom classifications are there. Later one more scientist, his name Carl Woese, what he is doing, he is dividing this kingdom Monera into 2 types. That is not at all a kingdom, but he is subdividing this Monera into 2, that is a Archaebacteria and Eubacteria. Okay, Archaebacteria and Eubacteria, that is not at all a kingdom, different kingdom, that is a subdivision in these 2. Here, that is a here Archaebacteria and Eubacteria are the 2 types of this one. Come to know? Yes. Here, now one more question student, where we can add this virus? Where is the position of virus? Viruses are not animals or not at all plants because there are different one, that is not autotrophic or hetero. We can't say anything about that one. It having the unique character. What about the Protista? It is not at all a Protista. Upon that it is not at all a Monera also, but it is not at all a Mycota like any fungus. But there is a question mark where we can add these viruses. So you have the chance to add this virus, so you can become a scientist. Later you can find in which class, in which kingdom we can add. Till now no scientists are come forward to classify this virus. So you have the chance to study and you can discover and you can add the viruses in any other kingdom or any new kingdom you can add to this one. Okay, there is a chance to you. So you come to know only 5 kingdom classification. Till now we are believing these 5 kingdom classification. Yes. See, if you are going to study any organism, if you are going to take one bacteria, so you have to know where we are going to add, or which kingdom, in which kingdom, under which kingdom you are going to add that bacteria. So you have to come to know that different characteristic of this, then only you can add that animals or else that organism into different kingdoms. If we are going to say any mushrooms, by taking the characteristic, by studying the characteristic of that mushroom, you can add to any of these kingdom. By taking the characteristic, you can add to this one where it is suiting for this one. Come to know? Now the further classification is done by naming the subgroups at various levels as given in the following scheme. I will say you one more thing, students. If you are going to classify the organism, initially we have to know which kingdom it is. Later we have to subgroups also we have to know. Then only we can get the classification. To get the subgroups, we have to study something. See, that is already we have studied in our 8th standard, that is a Linnaeus hierarchy or as hierarchy of classification. It has the 7 steps. Okay, by considering that 7 we have to classify, that is the subgroups. So I will tell you one thing, students, how we can remember these 7 subgroups. First I will write here, see, look at this, first one, K, D, C, O, F, G and S. Okay, you have to study like this only, so we can't change the order of this one. Actually, K means kingdom, D means divisions. In terms of plants, we can say that is a division. While if you are taking or else if you are considering any animals, means we have to write that is as a phylum. Here division means that is in case of plants. C means class, O means order, F means family, G means genus and S means species name. See, here it is this only you have to, we can't change the order. If you are going to interchange C and F, it is wrong. So it should be like this. To remember this easily, I will tell you the code, one code. See, in Kannada I used to say, so just remember students, once KD ಕಾಫಿ ಕುಡಿಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದಾಗ ಜೀನಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಸ್ಪೀಷಿಯಸ್ ಅವನನ್ನು ನೋಡಿ ಓಡಿ ಹೋದ್ರು. ಸೊ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್, ದೆನ್ ಯು ಡೋಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಗೆಟ್. See, don't forget, upon that you won't forget at all. You have to remember like this. What happened? KD, he is going to drink a coffee. That time what happened? Genus and species, by seeing him they are running away, so ran away. So you have to study like that. Okay, instead of plant, it is, instead if it is animals, means you have to change just P to D. D and P is going to interchange. Okay, this is in case of animals. Okay, then you can write down kingdom. This is division or phylum. C means what? Class. O means order. Family. G means genus. S means species. See, this is a very easy method. I used to taught like this. So if it is suitable, but it is easy to you, you can remember like that. So, but we are not going, if it is any changes or if it is interchange or exchange while writing, it is completely wrong. Don't do like that. So you have to write it in that manner. So you can remember when the KD is going to drink the coffee, by seeing him, genus and species, they ran away. So it is very easy to write down. Okay, yeah, this is all about the Linnaeus hierarchy of classification. Okay, it is not at all going to change, but this is a species, is a basic unit. So next, genus, family, order, class, division or phylum and kingdom. Come to know? Yes, this is all about the hierarchy of Linnaeus hierarchy or else classification. 7 levels in the classification of organism. Yes, next we will see one by one. What is the kingdom first? First kingdom we are going to study about the Monera kingdom. Because we are not going to study in this order, because this is the Moneras are the very lower organisms like bacteria. So we'll come to know why we are studying Monera first. So we'll see students. We'll start with kingdom Monera first. Yes, we know that kingdom Monera means that is the very first organism what arised in our earth. Okay, that is the first kingdom, that is Monera, kingdom Monera. We'll see how it will be, or else what are the characteristics of this Monera. Yes, do you know any Monera, any kingdom, do you know any example for this kingdom Monera? Yes, bacteria are the best example for this kingdom. Okay, so bacteria, how it will be, what are the characteristics of bacteria? Tell me student, what are the different characteristics of bacteria? Yes, whether the bacteria are having the particular nucleus in that. Yes, nucleus is there or not in bacteria. So while drawing the bacterial structure, simply we are drawing like this and we are drawing somewhat like this. There is no definite nucleus. Like our plant cell or animal cell, we can round nucleus we are drawing because it has a definite nucleus. But in case of Monera, there is no definite nucleus, indefinite nucleus are there. Okay, upon that we can't see any cell organelles, particularly the bounded cell organelles, definite cell organelles also not there in the Monera. It is having the flagella for the moment, it is having the cilia, all those things, but it does not have the definite nucleus. That's why these bacteria are classified as, or else it is comes under kingdom Monera. Come to know? Yes. What we are calling these kingdoms or as these organism, those organism does not have lack of nucleus or as definite nucleus are not there means what we are calling that organisms? Yes, we are calling it as a prokaryotic organism. So do not have a definite nucleus or organelles. So we can call it as a prokaryotes. Come to know? Prokaryotes. Yes, next we will see how many nucleus or else how many cells are there in this. We come to know there is no definite nucleus. How many cells are there in the bacteria? Yes, only one cell. So all the Monera kingdom, all the organisms comes under in Monera kingdom, it is having only one cell. So it is called as unicellular organisms. Okay, all the bacteria, all the kingdom Moneras are having only one. All the examples, if you are going to see any example like cyanobacteria, mycoplasma, anabina, blue-green algae, all it is having only one cell. So it is unicellular organisms. Next we will see the mode of nutrition, how it will be. See, some organism in this Monera are they can able to prepare their own food, that is a autotrophic one. Sometimes some organisms in Monera, what they are depending others. Okay, they are heterotrophic mode of nutrition. So we can't say particularly Moneras are autotrophs or heterotrophs. You can see both. So Moneras are autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. Come to know? Next we will see the example. We can see the bacteria, cyanobacteria. Cyanobacteria means blue-green algae. Okay, mycoplasma, anabina, all those things are the examples for this kingdom Monera. Come to know what is kingdom Monera. See how simple body it have. Unicellular without nucleus. Particular nucleus is not there. Nucleus is there, but it is indefinite. Okay, so nuclear membrane, nuclear boundaries we can't see. Organelles also we can't see particularly. Yes, so we have completed about kingdom Monera. Next we will move just higher to that one, that is the kingdom Protista. Okay, just higher than this one, that is the kingdom Protista. Yes, we'll see the characteristic here. Protistas are, do you know any example for protista? Yes, amoebas are the example. Paramecium, euglena, all the protozoans are the example for this one. All the protozoans. Yes, Malarian protozoa, that is also comes under in this. Okay, Protista kingdom, all the protozoans, Entamoeba, upon that which is the malarian parasite, that is a Plasmodium, all will comes under in the Protista kingdom. So we will see the characteristic. Just think of, student, do you know the amoeba? Yeah, you all know amoebas. Just take out the characteristic. Whether the amoebas are unicellular or multicellular, is unicellularity. So the Protista kingdom, the organism belongs to this kingdom, always it is a unicellular organisms. Okay, but the cell type is different compared to this one. Okay, here these also unicellular, Monera, but here Protista also unicellular. But here not have definite nucleus, but it has a definite nucleus. So that is called as eukaryotic types of nucleus. This one nucleus. Eukaryotic type of nucleus. That is called as, that organisms are called as eukaryotes. Come to know. Next we will see the nutrition, mode of nutrition. We can't say that is autotrophic. Some organism, you know that some protistas are able to prepare their own food. Yes, do you know the example? Yes, write down the example in your book. Refer and write down the example which protista are autotrophic, and those are, list out the example for heterotrophic and autotrophic protistans. Come to know? Yes. Next we will see here one more main character in this group. See, some organisms are having the appendages. That is the legs they have. Yes. For the locomotion, they have some structure in their body. Do you know what are the different structures present in Protista kingdom? That is appendages or is legs? Yes, in amoeba, which is a locomotory organ of amoeba, yes, that is a pseudopodia. We know that how it is, pseudopodia is in amoeba, we have studied in our lower class. See, that is a locomotory organ of which one? That is a locomotory organ of amoeba. See here, I will draw and show you, student, how it will be. See, this is a amoeba. Amoebas are having the locomotory organ. Yes. What about the paramecium? What about the paramecium? Whether it has any? Yes. So if you are going to draw like this paramecium, yes, it is having the cilia. Small hair-like structure in his body. That is a locomotory organ of which one? Paramecium. What about the euglena? Do you know euglena? How it is? Yes, euglena. Yes, it is having the locomotory organ. That is called as, that is a whip-like structure. That is called as flagella. So flagella is present in euglena, cilia in paramecium. Amoebas are having the locomotory organ named pseudopodia. See, if you are going to see the Protista kingdom, all the organisms are having the locomotory organ. That is a special structure in this kingdom. It is not, but in Monera some are having like bacteria, but we can't say all are. But here all the organisms, most of the organisms are having these appendages. Example, all the protozoas you can write, amoeba, paramecium, all those things. Upon that, some unicellular algae like which one, Chlamydomonas and all comes under this. Upon that, diatoms, all those things. Okay, these are the Protista kingdom. Come to know what is the difference between Monera and Protista. Here this is a unicellular, here this is also unicellular. Main difference is here there is, it does not have any definite nucleus, it has a definite nucleus. That is a prokaryotic, here it is a eukaryotic. Both are autotrophs or heterotrophs. Here one more special character in Protista, that is it is having the appendages. That is the legs or locomotory organs. This is all about the Protista. So we have completed till Monera and Protista we have completed. Next we will move to next kingdom, that is Mycota. Yes, next we will move to the third kingdom, that is kingdom Mycota. See, it is also called as fungus or fungi. Come to know. See, we will see the characteristic of kingdom Mycota. See, I will show you an example. Have you seen this? Sometime it is usually attached to like this, see, some tree or bark of the tree like this. Have you seen this? Yes. What is this, student? Yeah, these are the example for Mycota, that is a fungus. Do you know, name any fungus, any other fungus other than this? What is this? This is a mushrooms. See, other than this mushrooms, can you name any fungus? Yes, number of fungus we can see: aspergillus, bread mold, upon that yeast. Yeast is a unicellular fungus. Yes, other mushrooms and all, that is a multicellular fungus. Upon that we can see penicillium, all those things. These are the example for which one? Mycota, kingdom Mycota. Next, tell me, students, can you tell the characteristic of this? In which color you can see this one? Whether it is autotrophic or heterotrophic? What it is? Autotrophic or heterotropics? Yes, these are not at all autotrophs. Initially the scientist thought it is comes under kingdom Plantae. Later they realized that the fungus are not preparing their own food. Photosynthesis process is not there. It does not have any green color. So they added this organism into different kingdom, that is the kingdom Mycota. Okay, because they are not able to prepare any food, that is a photosynthesis process is not going to occur in this fungus. Yes, can you tell any other characteristic? Can you guess any other characteristic? Yes, we will see the characteristic here. Fungus, it is kingdom called Mycota, Mycota kingdom. Yes, first character is they are heterotrophic. Correct, no? They are heterotrophic. We come to know that it is not at all autotrophic. Next, see here, they are the eukaryotic types of cell. What it is? Eukaryotes? Yeah, eukaryotics means it has a definite nucleus. Yes, so they are also called as saprophyte. Why we are calling these fungus are the saprophyte? Yes, why we are calling that saprophyte? What is the meaning of saprophytes? Yes, saprophytes means nothing but it is going to decay dead matters. Okay, any part of the dead leaves or anything, dead body or anything, so it is going to decay that one and it is going to eat. What it is? That mode of nutrition is called as saprophyte. Heterotrophic, but inside, see, we are the human beings, inside our body the absorption and all those things process. We are eating food as it is. But the fungus, outside the body, it is going to decay all those things. Finally, what they are doing? They are eating that one. They are absorbing. They are not going to eat entire thing. They are absorbing the nutrients from there. Okay, that is the difference between we and fungus. So here the fungus are saprophytes because they are going to absorb the nutrients after the decaying of that one. So because such organisms are called as saprophytic organisms. Come to know, saprophytic organisms. So we are not example, we are the heterotrophs only, but they are the heterotrophs, but they will come under the saprophytic. Next we will see here one more special character to this fungus, that the cell wall is made up of chitin. See here, that is, it is called as chitin. See, chitin means it is a chemical compounds present in the cell wall of the fungus. All the fungus, if you are going to take the penicillium, aspergillus, yeast or any fungus, any example if you are going to take, we can see the chitin cell wall. See, cell wall of tough complex sugar, it is called chitin. Next, tell me the examples. Yes, we have listed already. The unicellular fungus is yeast. That we are using, where we are using yeast is to prepare, yes, idli, dosa, bread, all those things, pizza. Upon that, all, if it is what any fast food, the tough what they are preparing, that is yeast. They are adding yeast to that one. Upon that, well, the preparation of alcohol and all, it is having the very important role. Yes. Next one is the mushroom. You all know that. Next one is the agaricus. Upon that, aspergillus. That is a, have you seen the aspergillus? Yeah. In microscopes we can see. Say aspergillus, or it is giving some disease, allergic diseases, aspergillosis. That is one species, Aspergillus niger. It is giving the allergy or else that disease called as aspergillosis. It is present in the dust. Okay. Next one more is the penicillium. It is giving the antibiotic called penicillin. That is very important antibiotic. You know the history of that one. Already we have discussed that one in our lower classes. Next, sometime what happens? Some fungus species are joining with blue-green algae. Some fungus and some blue-green algae are they are taking the relationship. See, that relationship is called as symbiotic relationship. What it is? Some fungal species lie in permanent mutually dependent relationship with blue-green algae. That is called as symbiotic relationship. I will show you, students. This is an example for symbiotic relation. Can you see here? You can see, no? Yeah, this is an example for symbiotic relationship. It is called as lichen. See here I have written LICHENS, that is a lichen. See, this is a lichen. Here what? Two organisms are there, that is one fungus and one more is, that is a blue-green algae. So this symbiotic life form is called as lichen. This relationship is called as symbiotic relationship. Here symbiotic relationship means both organisms are getting the benefit over here. Mutually by mutual understand they are doing. So here both organisms are getting benefit. What the benefit? Blue-green algae are able to prepare food. They are photosynthetic one. They are autotrophs one. So they are preparing food and they are giving to the fungus. That is a benefit for fungus. Next, what the fungus is giving back? It is giving the shelter to this blue-green algae for the cyanobacteria. For it is giving the shelter. So both the organisms are getting mutual relationship, mutual benefits they are getting. Such a relationship is called as symbiotic relationship. This form of organism is called as a lichen. In exam, sometime they are going to ask, yes, write down a short note on symbiotic association, or else they will ask about the lichen. Which are the organisms are mutually taking under what a relationship with organism. Like any questions they will ask. Okay, that time you have to able to answer. Okay, so we have completed here kingdom Mycota. So we have studied Monera, next we studied Protista, and we have completed Mycota. These two will study in the next class. So just will recall what we have studied today. Initially we come to know that we and our friend, we are looking very different. We and monkey, they are completely different. Upon that, cow and monkey, different character it has. Why it is different? So we come to know that there is a necessary to classify the organism to write down the characteristic. What is the benefit of this classification? Easily we can remember. Upon that, easily we can write the characteristic. Upon that, we can study very easily. Okay, if you are going to categorize the organism, it is very easy to study. Okay, yes, upon that very easy to discover. So all those things. Next we come to know that different scientists are what they are contributing something to this classification, or else diversity of living organism is because of we can study this diversity or else the classification because of some scientists. They are contributed many things. They struggled a lot and they studied the characteristic and they divided the groups. That is a kingdom, 5 kingdom classification. Still now we are believing that one. What are the 5 kingdoms are? Is first kingdom, that is a kingdom, is kingdom Animalia and Plantia. Initially all thought only these 2 kingdoms are there. Later what happened? They are adding one more kingdom to that one. That is the Protista kingdom. Later one more kingdom they are adding, that is the 4th kingdom, that is called as kingdom Monera. Finally what happened? At the end, one more scientist come forward and he is adding one more kingdom. That kingdom is called as Mycota. So till now we are believing that one. Still it is a question mark where we can add these viruses. Yes. Next we have studied about the characteristic of some kingdom. Before that, subgroups we have studied. 7, the hierarchy of classification, that is the Linnaean's hierarchy of classification. It has the 7 steps. That how we can study? KD, 1 KD, going to drink the coffee, genus and species, ran away. So by observing him, by seeing him, they got afraid, they ran away. So in Kannada I used to say, KD coffee kudilike hodaga, genus species edari hodru, odidru. So these are the simplification of that one. So we come to know that the 7 hierarchy of classification. Later we study the different characteristic of different kingdom. First we studied the lower kingdom, that is the first kingdom Monera. Bacteria are the example for that one. Characteristic, they are the prokaryotic one with unicellular organisms. Unicellular. Upon that we come to know heterotrophs or autotrophs. Next we study the Protista kingdom. Here we come to know all the protozoans, and here this is a unicellular but a eukaryotic types of nucleus in that. Later we come to know that either autotrophic or both also we can see in this. The important point, we can see the appendages, cilia in Paramecium. One more whip-like structure, flagella, that is in which Euglena. Upon that pseudopodia in amoeba. Yes. Next we studied about the kingdom, that is the kingdom Mycota. In kingdom Mycota we come to know all the fungus comes under this. The characteristic is they are heterotrophic. They may be unicellular or multicellular. Both we can see. East are the unicellular. Yes. Next, they all are the saprophytic in nature. What is saprophyte? We have discussed it already. So they are the saprophytic organisms. After that we come to know that one more new concept, that is mutualism. That is a symbiotic relationship with these 2 organisms. What are the organisms here? Yes, that is a blue-green algae and fungus. Both are having the benefit. Such a forms are called as, that is, lichens. So we come to know, we observed. See, if you are going to see in your surrounding, just observe, just notice that one, how nicely they are living together. See, that is actually living together, no? How nicely they are managing that one. Both also having the benefits. So we have completed. In next class we are going to study about the kingdom Plantae and kingdom Animalia. Just will write down the question, students. Okay. First question. Write down the 7 hierarchies of classification. Yes. Give example for unicellular Mycota or else fungi. Yes. Differentiate between kingdom Monera and kingdom Protista. Okay. Last question. Write a short note on symbiotic relationship. Okay. Thank you, students.